This lesson is about triangles. The first set of keywords that you'll be writing on your guided practice sheet and their definitions are scalene triangle. No sides are congruent. Congruent means the same. Isosceles triangle will have two congruent sides, two sides that are the same. Equilateral triangle will have all sides congruent or the same. Please write that on your guided practice sheet in the keyword section. Here are some pictures of those keywords. A scalene triangle is where all sides are different. I have three different measurements, 12, 6, and 14. Since all three measurements are different, this is classified as a scalene triangle. This one I have two measurements that are the same. If I have two measurements that are the same of these sides, this is classified as an isosceles triangle. My third one, all three sides have the same measurement. If all three sides are the same, this is an equilateral triangle. Alright, we have three more keywords where we can classify triangles by their angles. First one is an acute triangle. That's where all angles are acute. Acute means less than 90 degrees. The second one is a right triangle, where one angle is a right angle. A right angle is 90 degrees. The third word, obtuse triangle. One angle is an obtuse angle, and an obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees. Please pause this video and write these keywords and their definitions on your guided practice sheet in the keyword section. Alright, here's some examples of those keywords. Right triangle. I can see right here by this symbol that's telling me that this is a right angle, which is 90 degrees, so this would be a right triangle. This too is 90 degrees, so this would be a right triangle. My next one is an acute triangle. An acute triangle is all three angles are less than 90 degrees, so this would be an acute triangle. Here is the third example, which is an obtuse triangle. You can see that this green arrow is pointing to this angle here. This angle is greater than 90 degrees, so it is an obtuse triangle. The angles of a triangle are measured in degrees using a protractor. This green tool right here is a protractor. It measures the angles. The sum of the angles in all triangles will total 180 degrees. If I look at this blue triangle down here at the bottom, I've got three numbers, three measurements, 70, 70, and 40. If I add those three numbers, they will all total 180 degrees. Alright, let's practice classifying by the length of the sides. Now watch me and then you will do the next one on your guided practice sheet. If I look at this first triangle, I have three different lengths. Again, I'm classifying by the sides, so I'm looking at the length of the sides. I've identified my measurements as 15, 13, and 8. Since all of those sides are different, this would be a scalene triangle. All sides are different. Over here on the right, I've got two sides that are the same. So I've identified my two sides, and I will classify this as isosceles, where two sides are the same. My third one, I have three sides that are the same, so I will classify this as equilateral. Alright, now I'd like for you to try it. Classify these triangles by their sides. Look at the length of the sides and classify them as scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. Please do this in the practice section on your guided practice sheet. Alright, how did that go for you? Let's look at number 1. I've got two sides that are the same, so this would be isosceles. Coming to triangle number 2, three sides that are the same, equilateral. finally, I've got 3 sides that are all different, so this would be my scalene triangle. All right, let's try classifying triangles by their angles. Watch me on this one, and then you'll do the next set. Looking at the first triangle, the green one, I've got 3 angles. They're all different. They're all less than 90. If they're all less than 90, this is an acute triangle. Down here at the bottom, I see this symbol. This tells me that this is 90 degrees, a right angle, so this would be a right triangle. Let me identify the angles on this purple one. I can see that I've got an obtuse angle right there, more than 90, so this would be an obtuse triangle. All right, now I want you to try these on your guided practice sheet. Look at the measurements and decide, is it acute, less than 90? Do you see one that's a right angle, or do you have an angle that is obtuse? So that would be an obtuse triangle. So pause this video and classify these 4 triangles in the practice section of your guided practice sheet. All right, let's check our answers. Number 1. Ooh, yes, they're all less than 90 degrees, so this is an acute triangle. Number 2, ooh, I see a 90-degree angle, so this has to be a right triangle. Number 3, I see that obtuse angle, greater than 90, so this one would be obtuse. And finally, my last one, again, they're all less than 90, so this is an acute triangle. All right, our last thing we're going to do in this lesson is we're going to find the measurement of the missing angle. As I told you earlier in this video, that the total degrees in all triangles must total 180 degrees. Doesn't matter what type of triangle it is, they will all total 180 degrees. So if I look at this example, I'm trying to find the total of all 3 angles. So I've got 89 degrees plus 42 degrees plus some number has to equal 180. So I need to find that missing number. So I add the first 2 numbers, 89 plus 42, and I get 131. If I subtract that from my 180 degrees that I'm trying to get to, I can see that my missing angle is 49 degrees. All right, well, I would like for you to try these 3. You're trying to find the sum of the 3 angles must total 180 degrees. So add the 2 angles that you know and subtract it from 180 degrees to get the missing angle. So pause this video, get those answers, and I'll check right back with you. All right, let's see how you did. Problem number 1, I can see that 80 plus 52 is 132. So if I were to subtract 132 from my 180, I can see that this answer is 48. So this missing angle is 48 degrees. Over here, ooh, they're only giving us one number, but we know that this is 90 degrees. So 90 plus 60 is 150, and 150 plus 30 equals 180. And again, down here, this is 90 degrees. And this is 45. I know in my mind that 45 is half of 90, so I know that this one also has to be 45 degrees. All right, I hope you've learned a lot about triangles. If you would write a short summary about triangles on your guided practice sheet, and also write a question to be discussed in class tomorrow. Have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, boys and girls.